the official sprinting starts, then if I try to connect my headphones to my phone, it stops the sprint.
Right.
And then I have to like start that again, which is goofy. But then when we come back on to connect back to the computer, it always is like, I don't know who you are. So I just figured rather than dealing with that, we would just chit chat. But anyway, hello, whoever ends up joining. It is the same time as usual for me, but I believe it is an hour earlier for most people because Arizona's time zone, well, the time zone itself changes because the time doesn't change. So we went from PST to MST, but that does mean that it is probably a different time for everyone else. So thanks everybody for joining. Hello to you as well. And Sean, we are sans Sean today because Sean had plans. How dare he have other plans besides us than sitting at home and reading. But anyway, what is everybody going to be reading today? Hello. Oh, thanks. Harmful bug. Oh, I have to say, speaking of bugs, because there's always some story. So we have gotten we pay to have people come and spray around to prevent from getting bugs, and also we've put the strips where our doors are because otherwise they'll just crawl right underneath. But every time they do show up, usually within a couple days of the pest control being here, you will find like dead bugs outside, and I do not like that. Because then it just reminds you that they're there. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously it'd be worse to see them alive, but this time of year, there's usually less of them because they all go back to hell where they belong when it gets cooler here. But, still, some of them exist, and we have a lot of plants, so I don't like
Insects do not survive the winter, but they leave behind their offspring, quoting a certain character.
Way to bring it back to Apothecary Diaries. Let's see. Doing grad school homework. Please read extra for me. Aw, well, good luck with that. That sounds very intense. Let's see. Why are there all these weird humans on my Luna stream? Luna, I'm afraid at some point is probably going to start barking because I got an email saying that a package is scheduled to be delivered. So she's probably going to lose it at some point, and it's just me. So I can't just put her in the room with Sean. Are you reading the manga for Apothecary Diaries? No, not yet. Still just the light novels. So Sarah, I think you're the only one of the three of us who's read some of the manga, right?
Yeah, I think I've only read 2 volumes. 2.5 maybe. But I just have so much stuff that I'm like, I don't need to read
another.
Yes, I don't need to like re-experience it like again in a different format right this second. Even though I want to, there's other things I need to get to.
Yeah, and I think we addressed this before, but it'll be interesting in the next season when they don't have the manga to use for the images, because they do take a lot of that. By the way, speaking of, manga to anime, the new season of Spy Family is currently coming out, and there's a part where Anya throws something at Damien, and she makes the weirdest little, basically pig face. Like she makes this weird, she scrunches up her face, and somebody made a side-by-side of the panel in the anime, or excuse me, the manga, and then also the image in the anime, and it is perfect. I'll have to see if I can pull it up. It's pretty great. Whoops, I skipped one. Reading the Strength of the Few, 20% through. Link for a steel toe slippers, just so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you have to go get Luna, don't break your toe again.
I do have my sneakers on. And actually, I have been getting around pretty well. I, for the first time, did bump my toe since breaking it the other day because I went to like give Sean a hug or something, and he was on the couch, and I didn't realize he had just kind of like set his computer just barely under the couch. So then when I went, his laptop. So when I went to, like hug him or whatever, and my feet kind of went under the couch, and his computer was there, and my toe hit it.
The same one.
What?
The same one.
Yeah. That was the first time, though. And it's been not quite a month, right? Because I broke it on what was our date? The 16th of August? Or not August, October. It's facing the right direction again. And I've been getting my 10,000 steps a day. I'm back to walking pretty normal. For a while, I had to walk super slow when I was walking on it again. I hope it explains. Oh, not really. Hard. They show up, but I don't know if I would say it explains it. I don't know if you're listening to the audiobook or reading the physical, but the voice actor from the show does voice the audiobook, which is pretty cool. I saw somebody say that they need her to narrate all self-help books because they're pretty sure they could conquer the world. I forget, have either of you picked that one up?
No, I actually just recently did like a cleanup of my TBR, and I'm like, realistically, I'm probably never gonna get to this. So I made the executive decision to officially remove it from my TBR. I just gotta be more realistic with these things, you know?
Yeah, you gotta be realistic about these things. You've read First Law, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that someone understands this, correct? First time joining your sprints. Oh, how fun. Thanks for joining. Also, I liked Mbessa Chosen of the Wolf, but I wouldn't say it's really pivotal in life to read that or something. Hello. Let's see. I'm on the second book in Bloodsworn Shoji. Nice. I think the second one was my favorite. I have not really looked into that. How do you or hi? Ow, that's not. I can read. Hi, do you still plan to make a review on Spy Family Volume 14 with spoilers, of course? I don't think I'll do one for spoilers of 14, but I don't know because I was thinking of reading. I pulled it up for our sprint, the next chapter that's out now, because I'm all caught up past that. So we shall see. But I really liked Volume 14. Have either of you read Volume 14?
Not yet.
I'm just endlessly that annoying friend. Do that to me. Tell me to read. Don't tell me to read more Realm of the Elderlings, though, Christy.
I've been hurt enough. I don't need this anymore. But I'm that loser who is like, oh, have you read this? Have you read that? And I'm just like, no, I literally haven't read anything, even though I feel like reading is my main hobby. Elliot 9
well, hello. Reading Hero of Ages is 71%. Oh, you're so close. Is this your first time reading it? Yes, it was so cute. I feel really bad. What is this in reference to? Okay, I have to say, because the word penguin is in your name, your username, I saw what was basically the cutest baby penguin getting weighed video. And I'm going to now show all of you if I can find it quickly enough, because it is so unbelievably cute. It doesn't even look real. It is real, just to be clear. And it's just adorable. Oh, here's the Anya thing. Let me go to the end where you can see her stupid face. Okay, let's see. Of course, Damien has to. So it shows them like arguing. Look at the side by side. Let's see. And then really quick, I'll say, since some of you are new, we chat for a little bit. And actually, it's going to be a little bit today. It's not going to be, sometimes we chat for a really long time, but we're going to chat for a little bit. And then, volume 14. Yeah. Cute, yes, but also tragic. It's so sad. Anyway, we chat for a little bit. And then today we are going to sprint for 50 minutes. There will be a countdown and music, but of course, feel free to mute that if you don't like having that background noise. And then it'll be a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll jump back in for 50 more minutes, and then we'll chat some more. And you don't have to read if you just want to be productive in other ways. But I found the penguin. Look at it. It's so cute.
Oh my god.
It's so tiny. Oh my god.
I love it so much.
I love how fluffy the babies are.
I just want to know, like, what do I have to do in life to, my biggest thing is I'm like, can someone hand me a baby snow leopard to hold? Because I'm I was about to say I'm sure you've seen this, but then I thought about it. I'm like, probably not. There's a video of somebody like burping a baby snow leopard. And it's so cute. And I'm like, how do I get that job? How do I get that? That'd be adorable. Let's see. Oh, thank you. I personally think book 2 is better, but hopefully you're enjoying book 1. Oh, nice. No one likes dishes. Now, Christy, you've been talking about doing more chores. I forget. Are you the one who does the dishes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And okay, even though we have a dishwasher, the dishwasher is technically just like a dish rack for us. I don't know. I don't like using the dishwasher because there's certain, okay, sorry, I'm going to go on like a whole rant here because there's certain items that you can't put in the dishwasher, right? Like you can't put pots and pans, and there's like certain other delicate items. I'm like, at that point, what can I put in the dishwasher? I might as well just hand wash everything anyway.
Delicate items makes it sound like your clothes, like your washer machine.
No.
I know what you mean though, like certain cups, because of the material, it'll like the heat of it will melt and stuff.
I'm like, I don't have the brain capacity to know what can and cannot be put in the dishwasher. I'm just gonna, so I don't know. For me, it's just easier to hand wash everything.
That's fair. I feel, Sarah, you have opinions on this.
I do. I feel the same way about clothes and dishes. If it cannot go in a machine to be washed, I do not want it. Like,
yeah.
If it says it can't go in the dishwasher, I'm still putting it in there anyway. Like,
we have some items that I don't think we're supposed to put in the microwave, but that we put in the microwave. So
as long as it's not metal.
Don't put grapes in. Don't put grapes in the microwave. Did anybody have a weird phase when they were in middle school where they saw, I mean, this, okay, I should stop really quick. This is before the internet, or not necessarily before, but before it was as much a part of our lives as it is now. But I feel like there's this phase where middle schoolers would hear about stuff you're not supposed to put in the microwave, and then they had to test it out for themselves. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or is this like an exclusive to where I grew up?
No, I never did that because that sounds kind of dumb.
Of course it's dumb. It's definitely dumb.
I feel like putting grapes in the microwave was one of those.
Yes.
Things. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that I didn't just shout into the void about this.
Were there other things that were like a thing that you shouldn't put in the microwave?
That's the main thing that I can remember, but I know it was almost like, is this a wives' tale or is it true? What happens if you do? You know how back in the day, speaking of putting things in the microwave, I think I've brought this up before and it's very random, but you know how for a while there was this weird clickbait style where they would be like, you'll never believe what happens next, right? So somebody made this dumb video, or yeah, technically it was a video. They're like, we put a stick of butter in the microwave, you'll never believe what happens next, and if you click on it, it just like slowly melts, and that's all the video was. So I enjoy the what is basically satire of the clickbait. Well, sorry about that. Let's see. I'm dropping in for a little bit before work. It's 6:30 a.m. here. Goodness. Well, thanks for joining. Sorry you have to go to work, unless you like your job, in which case, have fun at work. Oh, that's very nice. Glad to hear. The penguin. My husband finished it before I did, and once I was done, I just looked over at him and said, emotional damage. I know. So look forward to that, Sarah and Christy. We're once again talking about Spy Family. I feel like we're bouncing around a lot.
It's going to be in the new season?
I don't think so. I think that's too far. Next month will be the last chapter of Yona of the Dawn? Really? I'm guessing not. Wait, how many volumes will that be? How many volumes behind is it from the chapters that are out? I need to get caught up. I've read a lot of it, but I kind of dropped off once I got caught up. So now I need to get caught up again. Just popping in to say hi. It's half, sorry, my watch is telling me to drink water. It's half 11 at night here in the UK, so I'll be going to sleep soon. Also, I'm currently reading Red Rising, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Oh, that's good. A lot of people have mixed feelings about the first one. So if you're liking the first one, feel like there's a good chance that you'll like the rest of the series. Use your dishwasher as a drying liquid as well. So we didn't
it's
have
an Asian thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, is it a Hispanic thing to put stuff in the oven? Like not when you're actually using the oven. I mean when you're not using the oven, almost like storage.
Well, I put some like the baking trays and stuff that I'm not using. I store it in the oven because there's nowhere else to put it.
Okay. Because for a long time, I would put, pots, maybe not pots, but pans sometimes I would put.
Okay, I don't do that.
Okay. Well, they're similar. They're similar. Items that you just take out and you put on top of the stove. It's not like I put my shoes in there or something. But anyway, so yeah, for a while when we were first married, Sean was like, please stop doing this. So I was like, okay, I'll stop.
My dad would always do that, and then my mom would always go to preheat the oven, and she's like, why is this random stuff in there? So
well, at least she checks before she actually preheats.
No, she wouldn't check.
Oh.
This is true as well.
Mm.
This is also accurate.
Good to know.
I was about to say we didn't have, well, technically we did. When my dad first moved into this mobile home, there was a dishwasher and it did not work. And he's like, I'm single, who cares? And he just didn't get a new one because he figured it's one person, so he can just keep up with his own dishes. It's not like a big family or something. And then eventually, though, when there was 3 of us for a while, it was more dishes. And I remember when I was taking care of my dad, this is sad but funny. Sean, he'd be like, oh, I have to get to the dishes. And I would tell him when my dad couldn't hear, I'm like, I need you to stop saying this kind of stuff where he can hear, because he's going to ask me to do the dishes when you're not here to help you out, not realizing that I'm like, because I would try really hard for my dad to not realize, like, it is very difficult to take care of a person whose health is deteriorating. And it's like, you don't really have the time to do all these things around the house because you're taking care of them so much. And I was like, please stop saying this in front of my dad. And then sure enough, my dad, like the next day, he's like, you should do the dishes, help that boy out. And I was just like, okay. And then I started doing the dishes. And when Sean came home, I just like glared at him and he's like, I'm so sorry. And he also, like my dad, he couldn't hardly move, but he was still so determined to water his plants. So I had to like take his oxygen machine and get an extension cord and like try, maybe not an extension cord, maybe the cord was just long enough, but I would like have to like, because at some point he was basically in a wheelchair. I'd have to get him outside where he could like sit where he was between a lot of the plants and then hand him the hose and move his oxygen machine. And he was very determined, and it was very cute how much he loved, trying to do stuff for himself. But at the same time, I was like, oh, you should just relax. I felt bad. But anyway, the dishwasher thing, though, at some point, we, as a gift to ourselves, we got ourselves a dishwasher. And then it was a whole fiasco to actually get it installed. They came out 3 different times, and they were like, oh, sorry, like, we can't do it. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do it? And they were like, there's just like this tiny little thing, so we like can't get the other old one out. And I'm like, yes, you can. Eventually my neighbor just did it for us. So we moved the old dishwasher out. And then that way they could just take it. And then they were able to put the new one in. But it was a huge fiasco. Anyway, back to lighthearted stuff.
Is this the same neighbor who's also a contractor and like helps you with the window stuff? Wow, what a great neighbor.
He is. He's very nice. And I feel like he got kind of emotional when that whole window thing was happening, because he was very mad at those guys who were not very polite. But he was very upset with them for totally messing everything up. And then he was like, I'm sorry if I'm getting heated. It's just this kid, I've known her since she was like really little, and her dad died, and he was a good friend of mine, and I just really care about this kid. And he was getting kind of like teary-eyed, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice, but also this is like unexpected at the same time. And these guys are probably like okay about it all. They weren't very polite. What happens to grapes? They like spark or something. If I'm remembering, what happens to grapes in the microwave?
Who's got some grapes in a microwave right now? You can find out.
They can cause sparks and create a plasma fireball because and concentrate microwaves much like a resonator. So very young me. Hold on, Jashana. Wait, Elle, you guys watched The Penguin? No. Sadly, a different video, not the show The Penguin, a video of a baby penguin getting weighed. A very different thing than the show. I just popped on. Might have misheard. Well, you heard penguin correctly. Or if we're saying it like Benedict Cumberbatch, doesn't he say like penguin or something?
Do you know penguin? No, penguin. Penguin.
But that's kind of accurate. He said it really weird.
Penguin. Okay, sorry, let's stop.
Extra G in there.
The more you say it, or the more you start trying to figure out how he said it, the more the correct way sounds wrong. I'm very white, LOL, and I definitely store stuff in the oven. No, probably just sticking to Spy Family. I have baking pans and frying pans in the oven. Okay. Yona of the Dawn, most recent volume is 44. I think there will be 45 or 46 for the final. Not sure, of course. Oh,
that is long.
The lady who owned the house before us used a dishwasher to hold baby bottles and baby food. My husband stores stuff in the oven and microwave. You know what this is telling me? People do not have room in their homes for the utensils. I have a microwave, but no grapes. Otherwise, I probably would have tried it. Oh, no, you're totally fine. It begs the question, who first thought, I want to eat hot grapes. Let's try it. That is a good question. Did anybody ever have, when you were first moving into, like your first apartment or your first time moving out, did anybody ever put dish soap in their dishwasher? Did anybody ever make that mistake? You guys know what happens with that?
No.
It like explodes, basically.
It just overflows with bubbles.
Oh, okay.
As far as things going wrong, that one's kind of fun. But it's not the best thing. Anyway, it is officially over a quarter after, so we should start our sprints. I will turn the camera off, though, because I'm going to read and walk. So I'll hop back in after the 50 minutes, but I will be reading. And
what are we all reading?
Yes.
I don't think we discussed that.
We asked other people, but I rudely forgot to ask the both of you. Apothecary Diaries is what you were both reading, right? Stop it! I need you both to catch up.
We told you were procrastinating.
Don't procrastinate. Just because we don't have a date yet for the next live show does not mean you can do this to me, okay? I have been waiting so patiently for you to get caught up.
He's been begging us, and we're just like, sorry.
I need a deadline.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it until the week of, as usual.
Okay, I really do not like this for you. Because I know what happens. You message us, and then you stress me out because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get done in time. And I'm like, you better get done in time.
Every time.
Yeah. You will definitely, because apparently Christy needs more time. Eruption by Michael Crichton and James Patterson. Okay. My vote is by Christmas. I'm not saying the live show needs to happen by Christmas, but how about as a Christmas present to me, you both finish these next 4 volumes? I need to talk about them. So anyway, what are you both reading, traders?
I'm being indecisive. I have 3 options. I have a stack of manga that I could start. I'm reading To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. And I could also...
very controversial when it came out. Oh, yeah.
How far are you in it?
This one?
Yeah.
58 pages.
Okay. I want to know thoughts. Because, yeah, I said it was very controversial.
I don't know if I know why it was controversial.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. Don't look it up. Just
No, I need to look it up.
No, just read it and let us know your thoughts.
I'll read this one then.
I will say, Christy, you don't really have room to say that.
What?
That you have to not look stuff up.
Oh. I mean, I try not to, okay?
And then you said the other option was Ember Dark, Sarah?
Yeah.
How far are you in that one now?
Not that far. 72 pages.
Okay. Sorry, Christy, I cut you off.
Oh no, I was gonna. When you brought that up, I was like, oh yeah, this reminds me of the one time Jade was talking about how she was watching a show, and she got to the end. It was like the last 11 minutes or last few minutes, and then she was wondering, like, there's this one blaring obvious thing that they haven't answered yet. So she's like, so I pulled a Christie and I looked it up, only for her to realize that they explain it in the last minute. So she spoiled herself the ending for that. I love how she called it pulling a Christie, because that's what I do. I'm like watching something or I'm reading something. I'm like, I have this question. I'm gonna Google it, and I'm like, oh crap! I saw spoilers by accident. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
You get mad at people on the internet. Oh, can no one be careful? Can I answer my very specific question without telling me the answer?
Right?
I do the same thing.
Well, because when I was reading Stormlight, I'm like, who is this character again? So I'm like Googling it, and then of course it brings me to the Coppermind page or whatever. It has like all of it. I'm just like, oh, big mistake.
Yeah, that's tough because sometimes it's like you don't know what is a spoiler until, like, okay, sorry, I'm wording this poorly, but sometimes somebody will say something and then someone will say, hey, that's a spoiler, and you're like, it wasn't a spoiler until you said it was a spoiler, and now people know that there's something about that is different than how it appeared if you just had thought about it for a second.
I know exactly what you're referring to, like a specific example of what you're referring to. Yeah.
You'll have to tell me in the private chat. Okay, wait. Am I dumb? Did you say what you're reading, Christy?
Oh, not yet. I will be reading The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu, or if I want to say it correctly in Chinese, Liu Cixin. It's the second book in the 3-volume problem. So I'm really excited about this series.
Yeah, I've heard good things. So hopefully you continue to like it. You'll have to let us know once you finish the whole trilogy, your thoughts on it.
Okay, well, I can already tell you, you and Sarah especially, you're not gonna like it.
Oh no! Why?
There's like military strategizing. It is just like gets to the nitty gritty details of that. But I do think Sean might like this series.
I think he would like it.
To try military strategy again when it's not written by Brandon Sanderson.
So why do you think I don't like that?
Well, okay, maybe just Sarah specifically. I don't know why. I feel like I had a feeling this all kind of story is not character centric at all. And there's like certain characters I'm just like, I don't really like this character, but they're the main character. But I'm not reading it for the characters. I'm reading it more for like the concepts and things that it explores. So if you're more character focused, then I don't think you're gonna have a good time.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be hit or miss. What's interesting is that how you just described it right now is the reason I think Sean would like it. But if he heard you say it was mostly military strategy, he'd be like, oh, he does not like that at all. He gets so bored. He's like, I don't care. We've talked about before how
it goes into more like, it's more like philosophizing.
That sounds good. That sounds really good. But I don't disagree that it depends on the execution, because if it feels too removed from any character, then sometimes it's harder to feel attached. But yeah, I'll find out someday. It's one of those, it's on the TBR. I just don't know when I'll get to it. But okay, now that we officially know what everybody's reading, we'll go ahead and jump into our sprints. Let me pull up the study with me / whatever you're going to be doing. And we'll reconvene in 50 minutes for a 10-minute break. See everybody soon. Hello.
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 How is everyone's reading? Or just being productive?
My reading was very productive.
Yeah? What did you end up going with? Oh, okay.
Wicked Gods. I read 65 pages? 75?
Wow.
I'm on page
Okay.
114 right now.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But there were some like big page breaks. Like
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, it's not impressive at all. It was hardly an accomplishment. Were you even productive? How was yours, Christy?
I read about 4% of this book, which is about 20 pages.
It's pretty dense, though, right?
Yeah, and this is the kind of book where I'm like, if I have to reread sentences over and over again, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Did you mention what you were reading, Elle?
I read a chapter, the newest chapter of Spy Family.
Okay.
I kind of stupidly had, you know how when you have a volume, obviously that's a collection of chapters, but in my head I was about to read another volume, so I finished it pretty quickly because it's just a chapter, and I was like, oh, duh. So then I started to listen to an audiobook, but I don't want to say what the audiobook is. It's just last year I did I went through a collection of holiday romances.
Oh, okay.
So I'm considering doing that again this year. I figured I'd get a head start on that because it's easier to listen to that on the treadmill than more epic fantasy type of stuff. So that's what I did. And I am also still a decent amount away from my step goal. So on the next sprint, I will probably also be walking for a while. But then I'll hit it earlier and then I can come back.
I'm excited to watch that video when it comes out.
Yeah, hopefully this year I like them more. I mean, I there was I think there was one. Was there one? I feel like maybe there was none that I liked. There was the one though that was the bane of my existence, where it was just the dumbest. Yes, the dumbest, most unlikable characters.
Well, for your sake, I hope you like them better. For our sake, I hope you hate them.
I remember pretty vividly. This is so random, but every now and then, if it's an audiobook that doesn't require the most, like I have to focus and immersion read kind of audiobook, but if it's more contemporary and that sort of thing, sometimes I'll just grind in a video game. And I have vivid memories of grinding in Elden Ring and being like angry at these idiots in this book, being like, oh my gosh, how are they so dumb? And then having to stop and be like, there's no way that's what just happened or what they just said. So then I'd have to stop and look at the physical copy and be like, that is what they just said. How is this possible? Anyway, but you know, there's a reason that I'm way over leveled in that game. Just like that. How is everybody else's reading? Let's see. Listen to Hunger of the Gods while feeding your daughter mac and cheese. Aw. I actually had mac and cheese for lunch today. We make I don't think it's spicy, but I suppose other people would think it's spicy because we cut up peppers and stuff and mix it in, and it's super yummy, and you crunch tortilla chips. Ooh. So it's delicious. And Roger is coming over for Thanksgiving, and we are going to make the mac and cheese. So I'm quite excited about that. It was funny because he also said that Alex makes good mac and cheese, and they're coming in though from California. So I was like, I mean, we can make the mac and cheese. But I was like, did I hear correctly that he makes good snickerdoodles? And he's like, he does. So Alex is going to make us snickerdoodles, and we are also going to go buy pies from this little pie shop down the road that I might have to have you guys try too. Do you like pie?
I'll eat anything.
I really only eat apple pie.
Okay, Sean's a big fan of apple, so you are covered. And I really only like pecan pie. I'm not the biggest pie person, but I do like pecan pie, and they're
really. I like I'll eat anything. I'm like, yeah, apple pie, pumpkin pie, blueberry pie, maybe not cherry pie. I don't know, because I always thought I hated cherries because I've only had cherry flavored things. And the first medicine I ever drank was cherry flavored. So I forever associate cherry with medicine. But that's cherry flavored things. And then I actually ate real cherries for the first time a few months ago. And I'm like, these are great. So
that's kind of similar to Sean does not like watermelon flavors, artificial watermelon flavor, but he likes watermelons. I'm the opposite. I like watermelon flavor, and I don't like, because an actual watermelon, Sean was like, it tastes like nothing. How do you not like that? And I was like,
it tastes delicious.
Like nothing. It tastes like water. Like, I expected this to be sweet and juicy, and it's just water.
Are you guys eating the right watermelons? Because watermelons are so sweet.
Okay, wait though. I not like to bite into it, but I will just drink straight lemon juice. I want flavor. So watermelons compared to lemons, I feel like maybe give some perspective. Or I'm just having bad watermelons. I don't know. But the texture is not my favorite also.
Oh, I can understand that, the texture. You gotta refrigerate the water. Okay, refrigerated watermelon is the best.
I believe you, but I don't know that I would like it. You know what was yummy is when we went to Montana, I had huckleberry lemonade, and it is delicious. Watermelon is sweet. Watermelon is delicious. And salt on. My dad used to put salt on his oranges. You guys need to get watermelons at Fresh Market. I will admit though that I am very picky. I feel bad, but I am. And as somebody whose favorite food is meat, as a vegetarian, it's a struggle. But I don't really like most fruits and vegetables. I like various kinds of peppers, and I like garlic, all the things that are good for flavoring your meal. I like all those things.
Garlic counts.
Yeah, I don't think garlic.
It's technically a vegetable. Okay, I just looked it up the other day, and why can't it count? Because it's flavorful. Why can't we count it?
If you're like trying to get in a certain number of servings of vegetables a day, I don't think you're gonna eat enough garlic.
No, I am never gonna hit my goal for vegetables. I've accepted that. I'll aim for protein. That's the one, because I'm like, I like various different kinds of bean dishes. There's certain foods like I just grabbed for a snack for this next sprint some peanut butter, so I'm gonna have some peanut butter. Okay.
You ever do smoothies? Because then you can get like a lot more servings, and you kind of just chugging it. You don't really notice.
So for a long time over the summer, we were having smoothies, and we would have it with yogurt, lemon, raspberries, strawberries, and orange juice. And having that every day like super messed up my stomach. So they're like,
if you're not used to having a lot of fiber, as soon as like you take a lot of fiber, it'll mess up your system.
It's a specific kind though, because there's two different kinds of fiber, right? And one is more water soluble because so I drink a ton of water. I mean, you guys have seen my constant giant water bottles that I bring everywhere. So I do drink a lot of water, and I kept trying to drink even more. And I was like, okay, at some point I'm running us through all of our water. I think I just need to cut back on the amount of smoothies. I don't eat that much also, which I think is another thing, because then I don't have something else, I don't know, helping, if you will. I actually have tried to get in the habit of eating more. Today, since Sean's at the movies, I just didn't eat dinner. I was just like, I'm just bad at feeding myself. So I'm a giant child when it comes to food. I'm trying to get more into cooking. Like I said, that one day I made that delicious soup. It was really yummy. But if I'm left to my own devices, I will just do other things and then be like, oh shoot, I'm hungry. So
yeah, when my boyfriend is home, I'm like, oh, I gotta cook and actually make real food. When he's not home, he hasn't been home this whole week, I'm just like, girl dinner every day. I just ate goldfish and biscuits.
That's me every day living alone.
I will say when I'm not around and Sean's alone, like if I'm dog sitting or something, Sean also is really bad at not only figuring out what to eat, but he gets almost what you've described as what's it called? Analysis paralysis, where he's like, I can check out so many things that she won't care about, like various movies he's wanted to watch or something. And then he ends up just like rewatching The Office. So anyway, we will go ahead and start our next sprint because technically we went over our 10-minute break. And then we'll reconvene at the end. So one more 15-minute sprint. We'll see everybody in a little bit. Hello, hello.
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 How was your reading? Anybody, how was your reading?
Mine was good. I made it another 55 pages in.
Nice. You got through a lot.
I know. I'm like halfway through the book now.
What
How
made
are
you
you
pick this book up?
What?
What made you pick this book up?
So I have a pile of books over there on my table that I went through my TBR and I was like, am I still interested in these books? And so I've been wanting to try to get through some of those, or at least try them and see if I'm still interested. So that one just caught my eye out of that pile, and I've made it way farther in it than I thought I was going to be. So.
Okay, so not to put you on the spot, but do you ship it?
No.
Okay.
Which is like, I don't know if you could see my face while I was reading this, or if anybody was looking at me, but I was definitely making some faces like, what? Because like there is like a potential romance that I could see that I would enjoy more than where I think it's going. But
Elle knows why I'm asking.
Yeah, I do know why you're asking.
I'm just curious to see how someone who hasn't heard like all the like conversation surrounding it feel about it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I was liking it a lot more until this person got introduced. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I kind of feel like that happens a lot with those kinds of books where I'll be really into the world, or there will be some kind of personal conflict that I find interesting, and then the further in you go, the less those things are expanded on, and you just start to focus on other stuff.
Yeah. And like this one has a note at the beginning about like what history it's based on. So I was like reading about that and I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Like this is something I didn't know about. Like I can't wait to see like how that's connected to the story that's written. And then now I'm like, oh, this guy's here.
I wonder what's gonna happen then.
Yeah. And he keeps saying like honey already. And I'm like, why are you what? Like you just met. Why are you saying that?
Man, that is one thing that I need fantasy romance or romantasy or any adjacent genre to stop doing. The nicknames are too much. Your face, Christine.
I hate the nicknames so much. Like, why does they every single one have to have a nickname, and they always have to be something like super it's not even like super unique, but just like, you know, different. It's like, oh, little bird. I'm like, what?
Is that a real one, or did you just make that up?
I'm pretty sure I've seen that in something before.
Okay.
Or violence. What kind of name is that?
Yeah, I know what that's from.
Yeah. I feel like in some cases, like that one, it's feel like the author is like, oh, I'll name her Violet because I want him to call her Violence.
The nickname informs the real name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry about all the food talk. What's your number one read of the year so far? And then also just double checking for you, Sarah, what book are you reading?
To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods.
Oh man, no fun. Unless the errands were kind of fun or it was productive. Belladonna equals little bird, reading it now, LOL. Okay.
Wait, oh, you read that one.
I did. I thought it sounded familiar, but I couldn't remember. I read it a few years ago though at this point. And the main character in that one is not the main character in the third one. So because it's one of those, the first book follows a certain character. The second book kind of splits where you're sort of still following that character and another character. The third book, you're following someone else. Well, you're following the one that took about half the screen time in the second. So I don't remember. But I don't mind that one as much. It depends on how quickly they start assigning the nickname too. Because I feel like it's always this weird, is the term negging? It almost feels like this antagonistic teasing replacement for banter, because I'm like, just somebody calling you a name you don't want to be called isn't really banter. It's just annoying. I could imagine if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, okay, I'm not talking to you. And I don't think I'd be like, but you're so hot though. You know? Man, thank goodness though. Sean's not like that. I can't imagine what that would be like. Sean's nice, and he just is he sometimes, I'm trying to think of things he'll say, but I always think they're cute. You know, they're not weird. I call him husband. That's my nickname for him. And sometimes he'll say wifey bear. I think that's
cute. Like Luna Bear and Wifey Bear.
Yes. He does sometimes say them both. Or he'll call me, I think sometimes he'll say little one, because you're shorter than me, but I'm much shorter than him. So, but those are nice, you know, they're not like, I just met you and I'm just going to call you something because I've apparently clocked your personality immediately. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Is it just Honey or is there others, Sarah?
Yeah, he called her darling twice, which, well, he said darling and then my darling, which I was like, that's a little quick.
I think the one that I hate the most is it's like one of those like generic kind of nicknames that I see, especially like male protagonists call the female protagonist, is sweetheart. Because I'm like, that's something a parent calls their child.
So I am curious though about that because of how you said it. Is that not common in Canada? Because I would say certain parts of the US sweetheart's pretty common. For I'm thinking like, I don't know, a middle-aged or older man. If a group of women comes in, they'll be like, sweetheart, pick any.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a parent to a child rather than two lovers.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's an American thing or something, because I'm thinking even the people that painted our house, one of the guys was from Texas, and he didn't call me that, just to be clear, but he said when he came to he came from Texas, and he would say that sometimes people would be like, "You're not from here, are you? Where are you from?" Because it was obvious, like it was just instinct kind of thing, which people can feel how they want to feel, of course, about being called that, but I feel like there is a distinction between, there's a different feeling when it feels gross versus when it's obviously just, they call everybody that, you know what I mean? But is that I'm kind of curious if anybody in the chat is aware of, is sweetheart common in other places? Sarah, what do you think? Or go ahead, Christy.
For me,
sorry.
it's like, if in a romance novel, when the male lead calls the female lead that, I'm just like, immediately no. I'm out. I cannot.
I think it's a Southern thing.
I feel like some people here will say that, but I feel like it's usually like an older person to a younger person, not like also not like in like a romantic situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I need to find every country song where they say sweetheart in reference to some fictional love. I swear I think it's a Southern thing. But I don't know. Now I'm trying to think. Am I crazy? Is anyone from the South in this chat? I need somebody to back me up. Let's see. Getting in late. Will there be this is probably the last one. Unfortunately, the one we just did was the last one, but you're always welcome to, start from the beginning again, if that is helpful. I always think of Maid Marian as Robin Hood's sweetheart. Okay, I had a guy ask if he'd give me a cutesy nickname, and one of the ones he asked about was what my dad called me. Oh, no. I'm from Australia, and if a man calls me sweetheart, I'd walk away and potentially punch him. Gross behavior here. Okay. Yes, definitely a Southern thing. Okay. Sweetheart in can also confirm it's Southern. Okay, so it seems like a regional thing. Just imagine a Southern accent, Christy. If you encounter it in books, imagine it that way, and maybe it won't feel parental.
Just like the entire book, they don't have a Southern accent, but as soon as they say that, it's with a Southern accent.
That would be pretty funny. It's a one word. Yeah, that is interesting. That it's seen as. Now, I just want to be clear. Just because it's a thing that's kind of known in the South doesn't mean everybody likes it. But there's also, I don't know, I feel like there's different vibes, because there was this pizza place we used to go to where the people were like very Italian and like American Italian, just to be clear. And I feel like there was that kind of feeling too, where they would talk to the guys like, all right, boss, like that kind of thing. And then to the girls, they had a slightly different vibe. And Sean's so funny because guys like that, he's like, they scare me, because he's like, I just feel like, I don't know, like they're really nice to you, but in their heads they're thinking like, if you hurt her, we're gonna kill you. So Sean's not a fan of people that act almost like abrasive in their friendliness, and I'm like, you would not make it in like the East Coast type cities. There's certain behavior that's just different depending on where you are in the US. Christy, are you I feel like you're just judging all American.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But okay, when it's like a thing here too, like an older lady, you'd be like, oh, like take care there, hun, that kind of thing. Like those things are fine. I'm specifically talking about romance novel situations though. So like, those are different. I hate nicknames. Well, okay, and any of those like like generic nicknames that people call like their partners. Like no judgment to other people who do it, but I'm just like, if I get called that, I cringe out so hard. Like if my boyfriend tried to call me babe, I'd be like, what the frick? like ew.
Are there any that are acceptable?
Well, okay, so I pretty much just call each other by our names, but sometimes if we're being cute, I call him Davy Wavy, and he'll call me Chrissy Wissy. Just like that.
So baby talk is acceptable. No, that is cute. I agree. It depends on how it's used. I mean, I don't know. My dad was obviously old. I've said this many times, to have a daughter my age, and he was born in Arizona before people were actually born here. I feel like people always came here from somewhere else. And I don't know, he had kind of a, not Southern in the same way as what you think of when you think of the South in movies or just like American stuff in general. It's more like Southwest, which is a little different. But like, think like old cowboy movies. I feel like my dad had that. And I don't know, it was very like what you're describing, Christy, how it feels more like, for him, it was more like grandfatherly. So I feel like it was different. But there are certain people where, I don't know, it's a case-by-case basis. Some people say stuff like that and it just gives you the ick. Southerner here, and yes, LOL, but it's definitely context-based because it can be very derogatory when used in certain ways. Yeah. Now, how often do people say bless their heart before they start talking trash? Is that stereotype accurate? Where like, well, bless their heart, but, and then they just say something kind of mean, or gossipy. But anyway, so Sarah, in your small little town, is there any little things that are common there, or just kind of like that area?
For like how people act or like words?
Mm-hmm.
A good Vermont word is creamy. CREEMEE, which is
Wait, what? What does that mean?
Before I say what it is, I want you to guess what it is.
I can't think of anything.
Is it supposed to be like a good word? Like, ooh, that's creamy.
It's not. It's a noun.
Is it referring to something to do with the weather? No.
Is it a drink?
I'm scared. Wait, I'm trying to think like Vermont. I'm trying to think of what it's a noun?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think like it's cold there. It snows. That's why I was wondering if it's weather related.
You're kind of on the right track, I think.
Does it have to do with like something when you're driving, or?
No. I can just tell you if you want. Or
okay, yes, please. I don't think I can.
It's soft serve ice cream.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
That's a weird way to spell it, though.
What'd you say, Christy?
Oh, that's a weird way to spell it.
Well, you scared me because the way you said it, I thought it was going to be something much more weird.
It's like anytime anyone says that, it'll be like, "Oh, let's go get creamies." It's like people are like, "What is that?"
That is true. I have not heard that. What do you guys say for soda? You say soda? Like, oh, let's go get a soda?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know it's different. I think Midwest, especially northern Midwest, I think they use like soda pop, or, you know, there's all those different names. Or wait, what do you call drinking fountains?
I think just a drinking fountain.
Okay, because some places call it like a bubbler or something?
Yeah, we don't do that.
Okay. I like knowing all these regional differences. I'm trying to think of ones that are Arizona-like, and I can't think of any at the moment. My dad used to say wash instead of wash, but that's not the same. And then I never heard anybody give him a hard time about it, but he always was like, "Oh, sorry, it's a wash. Excuse me." And I'm like, I didn't say anything. The better question is, how do you pronounce wash and water? Oh, are you thinking like, are you referring to East Coast people that say water like, I can't do the accent.
Water.
Yeah, more like that.
Water.
In Minnesota, it's pop. Okay, that's what I was thinking about this kind of stuff.
That's the same in Canada.
Bubbler is Wisconsin and Maryland. Okay, thank you. I knew I'd heard it somewhere.
So interesting that it's very specific states. It's like as soon as you cross the border, everyone's like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, let me look up really quick.
Worder.
Arizona specific words and phrases. Let's see if anything comes up. Oh, I mean, haboob. People are always like, "What? What's that?" It's just our giant, apocalypse dust storms. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like most of these are normal. Although
that's some very specific Toronto slang, but I don't know any of it. Apparently, it's a Toronto thing to call people fam.
It is?
Have you guys heard? You guys have heard people say that before, though, right? Like,
hey fam, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, it's a Toronto thing.
My dad says Warsh. Aw. Let me see. Tree.
I know that the instant that someone can clock me for being a Canadian is when I say washroom.
Is that how you normally say it? Or do you just mean because most people don't say washroom?
Yeah, because Americans, you guys say bathroom or restroom.
Yeah.
We never say restroom. Washroom. The bathroom, if I'm referring to the bathroom in my house, but if I'm outside in public, it's a washroom.
Interesting.
That makes sense. Oh wait, what is this?
I've never heard of that.
What part? I wonder what part of Canada it's from. I'm trying to see if there's any like Arizona specific things. Some of these I don't hear people say. I don't hear people say a swamp box for air conditioner. Okay, some of these are, I feel like, not things that people say.
Apparently, I think it's a indigenous word, but I think it's more of like Western Canada thing.
Sarah, do you have any other ones that are specific to Vermont?
I was just looking that up. Some of them are kind of like people either use these like ironically, I guess, like Flatlander is one. It's just someone who's not from Vermont.
I kind of like that.
Is that also we're Flatlanders?
Yes. I guess this is more of a New England thing, but wicked.
Oh, yeah.
But like I don't hear anyone say that.
It's just bringing up, okay, the internet is stupid because it's like Arizona slang. And some of the stuff I'm like, this isn't slang. These are just places here. It's like 10 Casa Grande. I'm like, those are places. Those are like cities and towns. Okay, I don't think it's an Arizona specific thing. Snowbirds, that's not specific to us, right?
Okay, what's snowbird to you?
Snowbird are typically old people that move to Arizona for the winter, basically.
Okay.
And then they leave when it gets hot.
It's funny because snowbirds here are people who go to Florida.
Yeah.
People go to Florida?
Yeah.
Specifically Florida?
Yeah.
Wait, why? Why specifically? Is it just because a similar thing? Like our weather here is...
Yeah, and maybe because it's just like straight down from here.
Oh, okay. So it's like, it would make more sense that snowbirds would be associated with Florida because of the direction, not...
Yeah.
But also, apparently, just a lot of people move to Florida.
A lot of older people do. I think also the weather is better for your breathing, I think. Because Arizona is very dry. Very, very, very dry.
I just looked up snowbird to see if there was like an official definition. It said common destinations. They typically go to warmer areas in the southern United States, with Florida and Arizona being the top spot.
There you go. I didn't know this. Language is so fun.
But when you say snowbirds, the first thing I think of as a Torontonian is every year there's like a flight show. These jet planes, they're called snowbirds, and they do like this whole air show, and it's really cool.
That's cool. I'm still, hold on, let's see.
Looking up slang.
Our rich old people move to Florida unless you have allergies, then you go to, okay. Wait, what are people allergic to in Florida? Because I feel like sometimes people are allergic to stuff here. What did you say, Christy?
Alligators.
I sent you guys the guy with the emotional support alligator, right?
Oh, yeah, that was so cute.
It was very cute.
I want one.
I know. Pollen? We have stuff here too. I think it just depends on what makes you react. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Arizona doesn't really have any fun slang. So Sarah wins. Yours are more fun. I have one final question, which is that does anybody have any brief thoughts about the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees, given that is our background today?
I was looking at the nominees yesterday because I was like unaware that this was even happening. Yet, like I was like, oh, it's already time for this. And then I was looking through it and I was like, wow, in any category, across all categories, I have read one book.
I mean, it's better than, I don't think I read a single book in the fantasy section.
Besides Wind and Truth.
Oh, that's there?
Yeah, that's the only one I've read.
Only because it came out last year.
Yeah. I feel like I'm so out of touch with new releases this year. Like, an unbelievable amount of out of touch.
Let's see. I read The Devils, A Drop of Corruption, Bury Our Bones, Wind and Truth, Water Moon, The Raven Scholar, Hemlock and Silver. I've read 7, so I've read about half. But I mean, 2 of them came out yesterday, and a person commented and backed me up on this that the Joe Hill one seems more horror. So I'm like, well, yeah, that's why it escaped my notice.
Joe Hill, he's Stephen King's son. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's like they're like, we can't pit father and son against each other.
Well, but it was funny because the same person said that Stephen King's this year they don't consider horror. So they could have.
Who knows? Who's the one Goodreads intern that decides all of this?
Yeah.
Do they even read? I'm kidding.
I still think there's something to, as much as I'm like tinfoil hats, I still think there's something to certain books because it's owned by Amazon, right? That there are certain books that they want to make sure get some sales before the holidays. Like, exactly. I don't know. Some of them I'm like, because out of curiosity, even though I'm not somebody who was like a ride or die for Cassandra Clare, I looked up how much the Ragpicker King, how many ratings it has. And again, I know it has to do also with the amount of the people that put it on want to read shelves. But it had a lot. Sorry, something's going on, I think, in my neighbor's yard, but I can't tell if it's my neighbor's yard or my yard. So hopefully it's not my yard. But I don't know if maybe it's just like a stray cat's messing with something, but I can hear something right outside the window. I thought, oh, now I hear Luna barking. So
the mail's here.
I thought this year's nominees were more diverse in my tiny look through. Apparently not in the romance section. Somebody said it's like really generic. And then I saw someone said, I think the mystery section had 3 books that were all by the same author. So
which is crazy.
That's a lot.
I refuse to believe that she's writing all of that.
That is a lot. She has a template. She just like changes the name and the locations.
Yeah, who knows? I've heard like stuff about a lot of like at least one of her books is really similar to other books that have already been published. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on there.
I heard that too. I just haven't read the books to know. But I have heard that exact same thing before. Yeah. So
also my conspiracy theory / not really conspiracy theory about Thief of Night is it's definitely a push by publishers because they're like, crap, we printed way too many copies of this book and no one's buying it. We need to get the inventory out.
My guess is that it was ready to be released much sooner. And I'm like, I feel like they waited before putting it out. I think they probably were planning to put it out closer to Book of Night. And then I feel really bad if this is super untrue and Holly Black has been working on it for a long time. But it kind of feels like it would have been done sooner, but they waited until kind of everybody that first wave of like disappointment forgot about it, so they can get a new, because it being like a best of fantasy on lists earlier this year, that's why I was like, what? Because I remember that's not I don't think so. So I agree. I think they also
wait, are you saying that Book of Night was on best of fantasies list?
Yes, the video that I did. I did a video back in May.
They're really banking on our age of short attention spans to not remember that.
Well, I mean, I think that technically Book Talk hadn't reached its, potential just yet. So it kind of feels like, how all of a sudden people are like, OMG, why is nobody talking about this great book, Six of Crows? And you're like, because we all did already. So that it kind of feels like they're trying to, sorry to use this word because it's so not applicable really, but it's like they're like trying to gaslight people into being like, no, it's one of the best actually. Also, the sequel is coming out. That's what it feels like. But I don't know. Let's see.
I'm on board with that conspiracy theory.
I'm not happy with the fact that she has 3 books on there. Like, what? Also, the Crash I DNF because it was so boring. Yeah, the Crash was rough. Oh. Unrelated, but I finally have a book we're waiting for Elle to read, and I think Sarah can back me up. Oh, yes. I know. I need to read more Green Rider. I know. Somebody had was the nickname Tuna in this book, The Crash? Because that might take the cake for the worst. Was this like a silly nickname, or because I feel like that has some other implications? Does anybody else feel like that has some other implications?
Are we thinking of something
gross?
Not great.
Bad hygiene?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yes, LOL. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well, I know. I'm waiting for both of you to continue the Emperor's Edge series.
I will.
No, I'm sorry. See now, okay. You got me now because I'm over here like, read more Apothecary Diaries. I've only read the first one of that series, so whoops.
I've read 2 and a lot of the short stories.
The third one is when things develop, okay? Just saying.
Oh, okay. Not a romance nickname. Oh, okay.
Like she legally named her child Tuna, or she nicknamed it Tuna.
I think from what I'm guessing, it's just a nickname, but that would be a terrible name. Some names should be listed as things you cannot name your child.
Yeah.
Fully support a read along. That would be fun. There's so many. You get through one each month.
I've done it multiple times, so.
No.
I heard they're really good.
I've never heard of that.
Well done.
It's like a Chinese animation movie.
Oh. I see the character looks familiar because I've seen stuff about it. The baby would talk to her and the audiobook was so creepy.
This is honestly kind of making me want to read it.
Wait, no, don't do it. You're going to lose brain cells, I swear. Not that I've read any of her books, but just like when I hear about them, I'm like, they just sound so dumb.
So I'm not trying to put anybody's books down, but is it like the Colleen Hoover of the mystery thriller section? Is that the equivalent or not? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm clueless with mysteries and thrillers. But anyway, I mean, I'd be interested in reading a bunch of the books from the various different categories. Yes, 100%. Okay. That feels pretty accurate. All right. Okay. I was looking at the nonfiction ones, Because I'm like,
Ooh.
maybe I'll try to read a bunch of the nonfiction ones for like next year in November for nonfiction November. And there's one in particular that I'm like, I don't know a lot of them, just to be clear, but there's one that I do know about, and I'm like, I do not want to read that because I think that person has stupid ideas. So I don't really want to, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe the ideas are decent in this book, but certain things I've seen them say, I think those are goofy ideas and that they're out of touch. So
Now I'm trying to figure out which one
this is.
Here, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the person.
Okay.
When Sean saw it, he was like, "Oh, look, your favorite person." And I was like,
oh, but I didn't realize that November, because I don't keep up with like what month is for what specific like subgroup or culture. But I didn't realize November was both nonfiction month and Indigenous reading month. So it's a perfect month to read Braiding Sweetgrass.
Yeah, I did get that book, and then I think one of their other books was just nominated this year.
Yes, The Serviceberry. You know, I'm really into nonfiction these days, which I'm like, who am I? So I might want to check out these other books in here.
Yeah, that could be fun. I just send the message. Do either of you know who this person is?
No.
I'll have to fill you in sometime. They greatly irk me. How do I word this? You know when you have somebody that presents themselves as having similar thoughts to you, but then you get into the meat of it and you're like, no, we are not the same. Does that make sense? I'm trying to be vague. Did you see the new Frankenstein movie on Netflix? No. I don't imagine that Sean is going to go back and watch our sprint. So I can say that one of our friends recently read Frankenstein, and it's one of the first books they've picked up in adulthood, and they loved it, and they were telling us about it, and both Sean and I were like, that's a really good way to describe it. We both want to read it now. So I got it for Sean for Christmas. So I'm excited. And that way it's kind of a present to our friend too, because we're reading a book that they liked.
Oh, you guys haven't read it before?
No, neither of us has read it before. And I haven't seen any Frankenstein movies. I don't think I've seen literally any.
I want to reread the book because the first time I read it was during my period of read everything as fast as possible. So I didn't give it a fair chance because I'm like, damn, this dude just keeps going on and on and on. I'm like, you know what? That's not what reading's about, okay?
Our friend did say that they do, if this is what you're saying, monologue a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That Sean is not opposed to a good monologue. I think that actually sold him. He's like, ooh, okay. Have you, Sarah?
No.
No. Okay. I also got him. I'm just telling you. I got Sean for Christmas because he's not here. It's very random. It's a very, very specific thing. But since he, like myself, since we've both been enjoying Ghost of Yote, there's a company that I just discovered recently that makes trading cards, like not trading cards, but like regular cards that you play games with, right? But they make them based off of video games. So I guess they did one for Witcher back in the day, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But they did a deck for Ghost of Yote. And I was like, that's fun, you know? And like every now and then we play cribbage or some other old person card game. So it'd be fun to play together. And if ever his parents want to play cribbage with us or something, it'll be a perfect excuse to be like, so there's this video game. When his parents, I have to say this really quick. When his parents recently came up to visit, we were showing them clips from video games and stuff. And also we were showing them music from some of these games and everything, because we were talking about how gaming has great soundtracks. And so we were showing them music. We showed them clips from games because we were trying to explain motion capture and how amazing games are these days. And they were impressed. And then also, Sean and I have been enjoying drawings. And then we were showing them the various drawings we did and stuff. And Sean's like, I was thinking, it's probably nice for them when they come to visit us versus his brother, because his brother has kids. And he's like, it's probably nice when they visit us because they get to be around basically adults. He's like, but then I realized we're basically doing the exact same things that they would do with their grandkids. We're like, look at the pictures we drew. And then we also showed them Spy Family. So we're also showing them cartoons.
But see, the difference with showing your drawings is they can actually be like, wow, that's really good, rather than, wow, that's really nice, sweetie.
Yeah. As a kid, my mom, I would show her my drawings and she would be like, honey, that's amazing. And she genuinely meant it. But because my sister was 5 years older than me, and inevitably a 10-year-old's going to be better than a 5-year-old at drawing, I'd be like, it's not good. Brittany did better. And then I'd like get all upset that my mom said mine was good. And she's like, yours is good too. Your sister is much older. Like trying to make me feel better. My sister is quite good at drawing also though. My mom's actually pretty good too. At this point, I'm the best, but I wasn't for a long time. So let's see, just look through the Goodreads nominations again. I feel like a lot of great books didn't make the list. And some on the list I've never heard of. Yeah, I think that's a good way to sum up every year of the Goodreads Choice Award nominees. A good summation. But anyway, I have to update that we were pretty sure Sean's parents would greatly enjoy Spy Family, and we were 100% correct. His dad was very amused, and it was funny because the next day at breakfast, he was like, I didn't know, I guess in a weird way, I thought like we in America had essentially monopolized that kind of humor. And I was like, Sean and I were like, okay, anime is most of the time funnier than a lot of stuff that we have in the US. And Spy Family is not an exception. It's just an example of that. But I think they're planning on watching it together, his parents, which is like, yes.
That's cool.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Expanding their horizons.
Yeah. My mom was like, I don't know, I feel like American cartoons, I just like them better because they're more expressive. And I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. I legit was like, I'm telling you, Mom. I'm telling you politely. I watch them. You do not. You are incorrect. He's like, okay. I think my mom's only thing to base this off of was me watching Sailor Moon as a kid. I think that's all she has in her mind versus the many superhero American cartoons that existed. So I think in her head and also watching Disney movies and stuff. So I think she has it like it's Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and then like all American cartoons. And I'm like, there's a lot more. But she doesn't. She does not watch them or anything. And she would be like, oh, you showed me that one cartoon that was pretty good. And I'm like, Arcane? So anyway, does anybody have any final thoughts they'd like to shoot out into the world before we hop off? Any other pet peeves in fiction or anything like that? Everybody's good. Well, everybody shame Christy and Sarah for not keeping up with the Apothecary Diaries read along like they're supposed to. They are bad readers and bad friends.
Keep up if there's no date set.
Okay, Christmas, a present to me. Okay, I'm hosting.
This is the way things work. Okay, the people who get into it first end up falling behind and having to catch up.
Sean has this problem with Enrique, where he does that exact thing. He'll recommend something to Enrique, and Enrique will get really into it, and then Sean will be like, "Oh, you're way ahead of me now." So that is very accurate. But I really, you don't have that much further. It's not like they take a long time. Just get on it, okay? Thanksgiving's coming up. I would be very thankful if you.
That's true. It's not Thanksgiving for Christy.
I don't get Thanksgiving break. I'm so busy. Oh no.
You know what? Your partner isn't even there with you right now. You have way more time, okay?
He's coming back tomorrow.
Oh. Well,
I'm not kidding. He is.
When is the next sprint? I don't know. I will have to message these two and figure out their schedules. And also, we need to figure out for sure our next finally Ghibli chat. My fault. But we are planning on once again returning. We only have a few movies left. So we'll get back to those soon. And we got to do our waifu tier ranking with Enrique and Sean, which I think will be a great amount of fun. I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know if there's going to be too much discrepancies in our feelings, because we've discovered before that Christy and I think you too, Sarah, most of us feel similarly about waifus. Sean tends to feel pretty similar to me, with the exception of like Vi, but whatever. And then Enrique loves him a goth mommy, as we call him. Which I don't know if the rest of us are that opposed to either. So
I'm very undiscerning when it comes to the ladies.
What about the level of greasiness of them?
I don't think they have that problem.
But you thought it was a plus with the fellas.
No, I did. It was only luck.
Okay.
It's luck specific.
But you said you liked that about him, that it brought it up for you.
But it doesn't mean I like it in everybody.
You know what? I'm hearing sexism right now. It's fine when men can have greasy fingers, but not the ladies. Are you serious?
Ladies are better, that's why.
What?
The ladies are better, that's why.
They just inevitably
are going to want greasy fingers.
Anyway, it'll be fun when we eventually get around to all of those things amidst the holidays, and also all of the Apothecary Diaries reading that you both have to do. So thanks so much to everybody who joined. I will try to figure out sprints and all the dates for all these things so that you don't have last minute notice. This was a lot of fun. Thanks everybody who joined. When we do it again, it'll probably be at least at this time, if that's helpful. And also Sean will probably be here too. So nobody tell him what I got him. Thanks. And we will chat later. Bye.